Okay, so I hope you're going to join me on what can be the most life transforming mission possible. And that is that each one of us will share what was life transforming to us. All you need to do is post as a reply, and this can become the life transforming kind of video center, if you will. So for me, I have to say there were really two things that were life transforming in my life that have sustained me, inspired me. They make me who I am, and there are no words to describe the joy and the pleasure and the purpose and the blessings it brings me. And the first was by the good grace of God, there was a time in my life that I wasn't a believer, and I happened to chance upon a book translation called Duties of Our Heart. It was written by a very, very great Jewish scholar and genius. His name was Rabbeinu Bechaya. I'll actually post a link to the translation I made of what really turned my life around, and it was called The Gateway to Trust. So, The Gateway to Trust is an extraordinary 8 chapters that basically shows you how much God has done for you already. From, I don't know, your mother's milk. You ever think about the nourishing quality of your mother's milk, and you lived off that for, I don't know, a year, and without that you wouldn't exist. So there's so many miracles in this world that you begin to realize that God does love you. He does care about you. Now, our issues with God are not really if there is a God, it's if there's a good God. And when you realize every moment the sun shining, it's 98 million miles away. If it was a little closer, a little further, we'd burn up or freeze. Summer or winter is based on the Earth going a little closer, a little further, drops. You know, you think about the ozone layer protecting us from the radiation, keeping us warm at night. On the moon, it gets hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit by day and by night. You think about gravity. We'd all be flying into space without gravity. There are just literally millions of miracles. We just don't think about them. But when we think that God made these miracles for me, then you begin to realize that there's a loving creator. Now, the other thing that really changed my life was I read, this was Rabbi Tzvi Freeman again. I really recommend his book, 365 Meditations. And he brings down, this is actually from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and he brings down that if you don't know what to do, you can ask God. And and the first thought after you ask God is God's reply. Now, I guarantee you, if you just do these two things, you will have the most amazing life you can imagine. I really hope you're going to join me in writing down those things that were life transforming for you, and look forward for us to inspire the world together.